Hello for anyone watching this in the future. Anyone's watching this in the future. Hi, how's it going over there? This is a game that's arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community in the internet that gets together and plays cool role-playing games, story games, indie games, OSR games, all of that fun jazz. You can find them at gauntlet-rpg.com. Links down below. They do a really cool blog. They do a monthly zine full of like supplements and really cool bespoke games, and also they have the Hangouts calendar through which this game was arranged. This game in particular is Virtuous Service. It is made by Samantha Day at Passerines on Twitter and on Itch. This was made for the Emotional Mecha Game Jam, or the hashtag Sad Mech Jam. So yeah, sadness, big robots. You know how it is. Myself and my two players have been in this position before, and I don't know why we willingly decided to subject ourselves to this, but well, we're here now. Can't escape. I'm sorry. Let's kind of introduce ourselves. Like, we all know each other, but I have the wild notion that someone might see this in the future. Might want to know. I don't know. Maybe. So I'm Leandro. Use him, he, him pronouns, and yeah, I see. Funny. Here's a confession. I don't actually watch that many mech anime. I think I've watched Code Geass. That's about it. I realize I should. Yeah, I know. Don't. Yeah, I hear the tone in your voice, Kyle. Yeah, I know I should watch something else. If you have recommendations, but first introduce yourself before I get on this tangent.
Yeah, my name's Kyle. I use he/him pronouns, and I'm surprised that Code Geass has been your only intro to this genre. That is quite an intro. Wow. Yeah, I have recommendations I can send you later for sure. Definitely. But you know what? I don't watch that much mecha anime either. Honestly, I play a lot of mecha games, but I don't actually watch that much mecha anime. So yeah, I've watched some Gundam, and I've watched Eva, and I don't know. I mean, what else have I seen? Code Geass, and oh man, the name is escaping me at the moment. It's a very old one. I'll have to think about it. But yes, there's a number I've watched, but it's been over a very long stretch of time. So yeah.
All right. Remind me of those recommendations later, because me running all these other mech games in the Gauntlet. I would say I have watched other mech anime back when I was really young, but Code Geass is the only one I remember finishing. Like, I watched Evo when I was 10. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I know of it. Anyway, that's enough me being roasted. Alex, would you kind of introduce yourself? And you don't have to say if you watch mech anime or not. Don't worry.
I'm Alex. By them, I thought I didn't watch much mecha anime, but then I was describing it to some other people, and I realized I've watched like every mecha anime but Gundam. So that is my background. Nice, I'm not sure if like Darling in the Franxx actually counts, considering how terrible it was, but I've seen half of it, and that is my cross to bear.
Oh yeah, there's a terrible Netflix series that came out recently that I also watched. That I remember what the name was, but it was really awful, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. So
at least we have some dis recommends at least. But yeah, okay. Let's move on to the game we're playing. So I mentioned is Virtuous Service. It is actually a hack of Downfall by Carolyn Hobbs. And Downfall is a game about creating a city with a flaw, but as the name suggests, it doesn't have a happy ending. So we're in the ballpark of sadness and mechs. I'm just gonna read like the opening blurb so that we're on the same page. So Virtual Service is a GM-less dice-based tabletop game for specifically 3 players. Over the course of the game, we'll explore the relationship between a mech and its pilots, past and present. So our world has been torn by war for longer than anyone can remember. Perhaps we lived in a vast star empire shattered into fragments, or a single backwater planet embroiled in a centuries-long conflict. So here we'll kind of decide what our setting is first and what's at stake in a war. So is this a rebellion, a war between two superpowers, or a petty land grab? How long has it been going on? Who's winning, etc., etc. But we don't have to have all the answers at the outset. We can build as we go, play to find out, etc., etc. Whatever our conflict is, its battles are fought and won by mechs. Over time, mechs have become distant from human understanding. Their vast intelligences are leashed and made comprehensible by their pilots. Pilots, in turn, are consumed by the mech to augment their processing power, but live on as fragmentary, ghostly AI components. So, we have 3 characters. Trapped in this endless war are an old mech known only as the Machine. And then there's its current pilot, brought willingly or unwillingly into military service, and the Revenant, the remains of the minds of the Machine's former pilots. So to the outside world, the 3 are like one unit, but inside the mech, there's conflict. They're separate, you know. So we're gonna create the 3 characters together, and each choose one to play, and then we'll take turns framing scenes from the course of relationship, from their early meetings to the pilot's inevitable absorption into the Machine. So we're playing from the onset that we know this is going to end with the pilot succumbing to the Machine. So keep that in mind. And I'd like each of us to like read the blurb for each character. That not necessarily we're gonna take on those characters. Well, we're all gonna play all the characters as the game progresses. But let's read them out one by one. So you know what? Let's go with the roles that we played in the previous game. So Kyle, would you kindly read out the Machine?
Sure, totally. The Machine. You are a sentient mech. You don't know how long ago you were built, but every year it grows harder to reconcile your existence with the small minds of the humans who maintain you. Your pilots ease your burden, but at a terrible cost. A cost you live with every day in the form of the Revenant. What do you do to keep your current pilots safe? Do you love them, or are they only a tool? The Machine wants companionship, to slow the pilot's inevitable consumption by the Revenant as much as it can. You can see this is extremely friends at the table. I am not in the slightest bit surprised.
Oh yeah, no, I know of the author of this game. She's also a big Friends at the Table fan. So, Alex, would you kindly read the blurb for the pilot?
Yeah, the pilot. You will be consumed by the Machine, physically or metaphorically, even as you provide it with a means of communication and serve as a tether to keep it from rebelling. The Revenant awaits you. What is your call sign? Your pronouns? Did you leave your loved ones behind for this life? Or do you have nothing to lose but yourself? The pilot wants autonomy, maintain a sense of self in face of the Machine's demands and the Revenant's whispers.
All right. All right, I guess I'll play the Revenant. Oh man, they seem much less nice than my previous Revenant. You're a series of distributed AI nodes inhabited by all the pilots that have been integrated into the circuitry of the Machine. You know, you used to be people. Now you're this. What is your precise function in the Machine? Do you welcome each new pilot as a future addition to yourself, or resent them for taking your place? The Revenant wants intimacy, to tempt the pilot into succumbing to the Machine as swiftly as possible. So the difference with the previous game we played, which is Memento Mori, I'll probably put a link on that as well, is that we're all going to collaborate on creating each character. So they're not going to be like, all right, I'll make the Revenant, you make the pilot, etc. We're kind of like deciding so amongst ourselves, and then once we kind of like get like the basic gist of each character and kind of like the world, and then we'll start play. But I think let's talk about the world a bit. I don't want to say let's just set it in the world we played in the last time, but which will make things easier. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any suggestions? There was like some suggestions on what kind of war was being fought, but I'm all ears at the moment. I think we decided last time it would just be like humans. We won't be fighting aliens. We want to be fighting amongst ourselves, so to speak. I remember deciding that.
Yes, though it was like a civil war on Earth with humans fighting humans. I think was the setting last time.
Yeah, that makes sense. We fought at a water park, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with doing like a space thing this time.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I'm down for some interplanetary conflict.
Yes.
Okay, I'm down for some space colony OG Gundam nonsense.
Oh, totally.
So let's say like war between two superpowers in space. That sounds cool.
We're not playing as Xeon. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, we're not playing Xeon. No worries. We will not be playing on a side that is the more evil. Don't worry.
But I mean, we could.
We could, but who's the real evil? Well, I think what will happen is this story is it will zero in just on the 3 characters, and almost who we're fighting is not irrelevant. It's gonna feed in obviously to, what kind of pilots have been put into the Revenant, or where the pilot has been recently, what the machine has seen. Let's start with like in the order we have in the character keep. Let's concentrate on the machine. Okay. So it's not really a guide to like what. So I put some like some open cells here to fill in details. It'll basically be like it will be a lot like Memento Mori, that will just come up with like basic shape, or look how old they are. How does the machine feel about this war? Like that. What do you do to keep pilots safe? I do want to keep it human shape, because mechs. We've already quoted Friends of the Table. Let's just keep going down that route. Could have made them to look like anything, etc., etc. Yeah, so human shaped. Does anyone want to answer like what do you do to keep your current pilots safe? I have ideas for that.
So yeah, the mech is human shaped. The machine is human shaped. What do you do to keep your current pilots safe? I think maybe the machine does like self-imposed downtime to limit the exposure to the Revenant.
like sometimes it would just shut down, or like just refuse to go into combat or to operate, just so. Yeah. So they're very much aware of. Oh yeah, because you live with the Revenant.
Yeah.
The machine does. So does that mean does that mean the machine loves their pilot or cares about them, or are they more afraid of the Revenant?
I think the machine probably does love the pilot. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What are questions I have? How does the machine feel about the war?
Maybe it's like a love-hate thing where it's been fighting this war for so long, but it's also the only way it gets more pilots. So it's like the necessary evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a good call.
Yeah, it was made to fight the war. Like, what would we do without it? Wow, this is already really sad. War. Love hates the war. Loves their pilots. Why do they love their pilots? Just companionship? Is it just?
Let's see. I think maybe the machine loves the pilot because they decided to make this sacrifice, and that's something that the machine has never been able to do.
Can you write that all down? Because, all right. Okay, I think we kind of get a good sense then of the machine. Anyone want to give it a name? Yeah, what's a good name for a mech? This is where. Let's see. Oh, we'll save the names for later, I guess, because those always the trickiest part.
One.
Oh, what?
Oh, nice.
Good for like something nice and ephemeral, like Brave Firefly.
Oh, I like it. Nice. Nice.
All right. Kindly write that down there at the top. Okay. So that's our machine. Brave Firefly. Oh, poor dear. I guess doesn't need pronoun. Well, we'll decide on that later. Let's see. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just getting notifications. Close that tab. All right, so the pilot. Yeah. Why? All right. Before we get to like call sign and pronouns and whatnot, I'm kind of curious. And why do you all think the pilot is fighting in this war? Do you think they like it, or they were forced to do it? There's no other choice. Sport, family, vengeance, or their patriotism. A lot of good motivation. So I kind of like the idea that if the mech loves a pilot, I do like the idea because the pilots want this autonomy. They're probably someone who's like, I don't know, less of our idea of our less the idea of like a hot-blooded ace pilot, who wants in for war. It's more like someone that not aloof, but like someone who very much keeps to themselves. At least that's kind of like a general temperament. Not sure why would think someone like that be fighting this war.
Could it be because like their lover is now part of the Revenant?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Oh my god. So they sought out this specific mech too. Oh my god. Well, that's I can just say oh my god again, clearly. Ooh, that's gonna. Well, that makes the succumbing to the Revenant. Oh my god! Yeah, I'm just gonna repeat my. All right, so when we get to the Revenant, it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, sub question is: do they know that it's the Revenant of this mech, or do they just know that the liver was like lost in battle?
No, I think they know it was this mech, and that's why they decided to do this.
Yeah,
But,
I think
yeah.
Yeah. And kind of like the technology for why the Revenant exists, probably like widespread enough that they know.
Yeah, well, if this war's been going on for like forever, I
Mhm.
think it would not be a shock to know that this sort of thing happens. And maybe the conflict for the pilot and maintain their autonomy is kind of like you can't really experience your love for someone else if you're not yourself, right?
Mhm. Yeah, because being part of the Revenant isn't just being part with your lover; it's part with a whole host of people who you have
Yes,
since.
exactly.
Like, there's enough of their lover that's there, but is it enough? God, all right. Someday we will play happy games, and we'll just be smiling, and smiling because we're happy, not because we know what's gonna happen. All right. What else?
I'm pretty sure it'll end up like Twilight Mirage. We're gonna
Oh,
make utopia, and then it just becomes an endless nightmare
yeah,
for
yeah.
civilizational collapse.
We can't help it,
This
can
is
we?
our
Like,
fate.
our our fate is to cry. Clearly. God damn it, Mirages.
We are the pilot in this game. That is us. We just succumb to the sadness. There is no escape.
Yeah. All right. Other questions. So the pilot probably know. Yeah, they know that their fate is probably to succumb. But yeah, the question of why they don't immediately succumb is they're not sure what's gonna happen or what they'll become. Do you think they left any loved ones behind for this life, or do they think that there's nothing left to lose because they've lost someone they care about, so that's why they're here, giving themselves up to, well, not immediately giving themselves up.
I kind of like the idea that there's loved ones left behind. That it's more
Ooh.
that whole like sacrificing yourself for your lover or like stay for the people.
Yeah.
So we all know what they'll do.
Yeah, it is a foregone conclusion. Yeah, no, I think that would be good if there were loved ones left behind. Ooh.
What you got?
I think like maybe were they like maybe part of like an anti-war group and they left them behind? Like they had like a kind of community that they lived in and they gave it up.
Ooh,
It
because
sounds amazing.
yeah, and they gave up and joined the war to be close to this person they lost, who who was a mech pilot, probably had that whole, not star-crossed lovers, I'm an anti-war activist, you're a soldier, but it's something,
Totally.
something like that.
So Gundam. It's great.
God damn it. Okay, I think We got a good sense then of our poor doomed pilot. Love will tear us apart. Just the last thing. What is their call sign and their pronouns? Let's see. Who would pilot a mech called Brave Firefly? Go on.
I mean, we could go for something like Gamma Echo for the whole. You're just like another to join the Revenants.
Ooh,
There's a call sign at least.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like just a string. It's not like Brave Firefly, which is like a cool ephemeral nickname, but it's more military based. Like I don't know, Echo Mirage or something like that. Yeah, Gamma Echo.
Yes, I like either.
Or it could be Echo, and the pilot of this mech is always Callsign Echo.
That's a very good one. I like it.
Oh God, yeah. All right, I'm down for that. Haunted by the other echoes. Hey! All right. I don't know why we're laughing. I don't know why. It's a gallows
It's how
humor.
we prepare ourselves for this sadness.
Yeah. Processing.
Yeah, let's keep hyping ourselves up so we don't get too sad.
Yeah.
That's how this works, right? Okay. All right, so let's move on to the Revenant. We'll figure out pronouns later, but I'm down for whatever, honestly. But we should have like definite pronouns because when we're playing. But let's kind of like let's get through the big. Well, let's get through the Revenant and then see where we are. So this idea, a distributed AI nodes that contain the echoes of the previous pilot. Do you think that was by design or by accident?
I think that was probably by design. Like, I think that it asks like, what is your precise function in the machine, and I think it's probably like they're like the like Eva-esque like psyche interface for the mech, right? Like it's like the mind of the machine and the mind of the pilot can only interface through this medium of the Revenant.
So that means with like this interface.
If you want to go on like,
go on.
If you want to go on like full body horror, we could have like it was originally a person who like sacrificed themselves to become this interface.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there was like an original Revenant, and it's just like it's getting added to.
Yeah.
I like it. It's pretty good metaphor for the meat grinder of war.
Yeah. Grinded. Okay. All right. That's. I'm. All right. So this collective then is Revenant. Back to the other questions. Are they welcoming to each new pilot, or are they resentful that there's another flesh and blood person here?
I think they're probably welcoming.
Maybe it like changes per person, and because like the lover is part of this, they're super welcoming of this pilot. But
yes,
you welcome.
They have their opinions.
Yeah.
yeah. Can't take any old trash.
Alright, so it takes on opinions of most dominate. Okay, I've used the word usually twice in a sentence. That's bad. All right. Does the outside world know that this is what they put their soldiers into these mechs?
Maybe that's what the anti-war group was protesting.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I think people know. Like this war has been going on forever. Like this is not a secret at this point.
Yeah, people know and are not down for any of all that. I know how to type. Yeah, I guess. What else? What else do you think you want to clarify about the Revenant? I do like the idea that because they're a medium, that means like the scenes we frame can, not saying it has to be abstract, but it can be. Like that is an option. I mean, so that's really cool. Yeah, I think that's a good. Unless there's anyone have any more details they want to add.
No, I think we've got a pretty good setup here.
Cool. Oh, we do need a name for their.
Oh,
I guess we don't need. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
wow. Do we just want to call it the Revenant Medium?
Yeah.
Does that work?
I'm down for
Go
that.
something like Legion as well.
Legion.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it has an official military name, but pop not popular culture, but like media and people on the outside just this is the Legion system or something like that. That's what they just call it. I think
So there is an important name, which is that of the lover.
Ooh. Oh shit, yeah. What is the name of the lover? The thing is, we don't even know the name of the pilot because it's just a call sign.
Yeah, we've not actually thought up any human names yet.
Yeah, for the pilot. Yeah, for the pilot.
I think so. This would be the lover's name before they were Echo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, names are, especially when we all have to play this character. I'm fine with anyone throwing out any name.
Name that's coming to mind right now is Sparrow.
Sparrow's good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm down for Sparrow. That sounds nice and well, I say nice and innocent, but they did used to be a soldier. But like, I like the image it conjures. Okay. Done another brackets here. Oh, nope. Wrong brackets. Okay. So, all right. So I guess pronouns. You need to cover those. I'll just say if anyone wants to be the first to give pronouns, I'm fine with that. Won't just jump in.
They then pronouns to the Revenant.
Okay. Yeah. You wrote that down there. Wrote that down. Write that down. I'm babbling today. Ugh. What about the pilot?
I mean, Ziza, unless anyone else has any good ideas.
No, I'm down for that. I should get used to using more pronouns like that anyway. And the machine, our Brave Firefly. We've seen so much.
The machine, the machine, she, her.
Ooh, okay.
Does that work? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So I think that is kind of yeah, I think that's kind of it. I know, like we've not been here for the full hour, but I usually like to take a short break after like generating characters and whatnot. I know it wasn't very long, but like before we kind of like go. So any like last minute things you want to add? All right. So, oh, okay. Actually, one last thing. Who wants to play who for the first? Actually, no. We'll leave that after the break. Yeah. Let's do a quick. You know, let's just go 7 minutes so we can go like a 10 to the hour. Cool. BRB.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry,
Welcome. No worries. All right. So, okay. So once we've I'll just read from the PDF itself. Once we've discussed our characters, we'll frame scenes and play out the pilot's slow consumption by the machine and the Revenant. One person will play the pilot first, and the other two players will choose the roles of machine and Revenant. We'll take turns playing each character. If any side character crops up, we'll assign them as needed. When you frame a scene, explain clearly where it takes place. What is the physical environment? Then say what is happening there and what the immediate stakes are. What does your character want and why can't they have it? Every scene should be about the pilot's slow deterioration in some way, even if we only address it at a slant. As much time can elapse as feels necessary and organic between the scenes, whether that means minutes, hours, or months. Anyone can call for the end of a scene. If one of us has something else to add, keep it brief. So there are 4 scenes, and then after each cycle, we'll take a break, check in, see how we're doing, and then after 2 cycles of play, we're going to decide if the pilot has been broken down enough. If they are, and then we'll play 1 more cycle and then continue on to the end. If not, we'll still continue and see what happens. Okay, so here's the important.
Can you just clarify what a cycle is?
The 4 scenes, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So once a cycle ends after the psalm, basically the reflection, and then we'll go through another one and we'll see where we go. So, all right. Important question then. Who wants to play who first?
I saw the pilot and I was like, oh, that looks like it could be fun. And then I was like, wait, no, you've got to get over your addiction at some point.
Well, Alex, honestly, you will have to play the pilot at some point anyway. You want to just get it over with?
Oh.
Get the pilots out.
Get the pilots out of you.
No. I'll stay strong.
Well, the problem is, Alex, we will have to play a minimum of 3 cycles. You will have to play the pilot.
All right,
Okay.
fine. I'm the pilot.
Great.
My addiction cannot be helped.
Okay. Well, good. We'll start with the pilot, and then as you play the other roles, maybe that'll help you ease off the pilot. Maybe, hopefully. What about yourself, Kyle? We're not just gonna do what we did in Memento Mori at the start, right?
No, I will play the Revenant.
Okay, all right. I'll play the mech.
Gotta
then.
break the cycle.
And Alex just said that, and then we were like, no, you have to get the because unlike Alex, we haven't spent the past couple of weeks playing other mech games as pilots or as mechs or ghosts, so we don't have cycles to break out of.
The Revenant hasn't consumed us yet.
No.
Okay.
But there is no hope for me.
Oh, Alex.
So you kind of like put your
I
name
had a question about the Revenant.
Uh-huh.
Because they've got Sparrow and then in brackets Legion system. Does that mean like Sparrow is in control right now?
Oh, I don't think so. I think Sparrow is just the lover who is a part of the Legion system. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think Sparrow may emerge at some points. Yeah.
Course.
All right. So before we properly start, let's kind of put your names in the currently played by sections, and also before we really properly start, I messed up and I forgot to do this at the start. We didn't have talk about safety tools. That's my bad. So I'll get us up to speed before we actually get to play. That's all right. Yeah. So safety tools we have. I just made a new tab for lines and veils. Lines are things that won't be crossed. I wrote down libes and veils. I don't know what that is. Lines are things that won't be crossed. It won't show up in the picture at all. We're just not gonna it's off the table, so to speak. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but it won't happen on screen, or we won't concentrate the camera on it. A veil is thrown over it, so to speak. Do you have any like lights and veils? Kindly type them out in the tab there. I'm not gonna call them out on broadcast. And as always, we have the X card. So basically, if for whatever reason we run into like a scene that's that makes people uncomfortable for any reason whatsoever, you can say you want to X card that, make the symbol on the screen or on the chat. Basically, I might ask some questions on what's being X carded, but no one gets to question the card. If it's played, it's played. We will find out what it is that's making someone uncomfortable. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy in this game. This is mostly for the three of us. If for any reason anyone needs to step away from the table, whether you were called to an emergency, or you just needed to go, it turns out you were more tired than you thought, or you need a break at any moment. Anyone can call a break at any time. I like that this game does call out that, like, no, after each cycle, you have to take a break. That is like kind of part of the game, which is nice. But that doesn't mean you have to wait till the end of the cycle to call a break. If you want to call a break at any moment, that's completely fine. And yeah, so all right, so let's go into our first scene. And it's called Acknowledgement. So the pilot frames this scene. So the currently playing pilot, Alex, would you kindly read the prompt for acknowledgement?
The pilot frames a scene about the ugly aftermath of a battle. A mistake was made, or an order was ignored, and they, the machine or the Revenant, are paying the price. A tense moment. Who is blamed? Who is forgiven? Who is suffering the most?
All right.
Oh man, I'm the one that actually has to think about this now.
No worries, take your time.
Was this like the machine suffering some serious damage in a battle?
You know what? I like it. I reckon we had some small skirmish against some enemy team. I don't know what sides are called, but they're the enemy. That's what counts. But as like we had the upper hand and we're about to finish them off, I don't think Echo could pull the trigger. And I think because of that moment of hesitation, the machine was badly damaged. And the three of them had to retreat.
Fair. Totally fair. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so is it like, are we all like hiding behind like some cover or something, or not currently under attack, but just like had gotten away from the skirmish to like just reflect on what's happened?
Yeah. Like a field base or something.
Totally.
Yeah, so like maybe you've already like reported to like the commanding officer, and then just like reflecting on what's happened.
Awaiting some like emergency evac or something.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, totally. I like it.
All right. So, how's Echo feeling?
I think Echo is pretty shaken because this is war. This is combat. Everything Echo did not want to have happening, but it's just what's got to happen. And so he's like putting on a a happy, nice, smiling face and pretending that nothing is wrong.
Uh,
And then comments like, wow. Actually, wait. So you mentioned like surrealness happening. Do you reckon this is all happening in reality still?
maybe it
Or is this
starts
like a
there.
metaphorical? Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, let's not get into the penguins congratulating each other until the end. they didn't congratulate each
I
other.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's build to that. So yeah, maybe this is just like Echo in the cockpit. So it's not yet. Yeah, we're still kind of like waiting for evac.
I think Echo comments to Echo comments to the penguins in the cockpit to the machine. Like, wow, you made out of some sturdy stuff. I was expecting a lot worse.
Oh, I've taken worse knocks before. Don't worry about it, Echo. Was that your first time in battle?
I mean, how could you tell?
Well, your hesitation said a lot.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Echo, I understand if the reality of what you're now doing is different from what you thought it would be. You don't need to put on a smile for me. We're partners here.
Thanks for the warning. I'll keep it in mind.
And don't worry. Mistakes happens all the time, especially with a partnership as new as this. You're not my first pilot who's had to take some knocks.
I mean, some knocks is a very light way of putting this.
Well, they were kind enough to not program me with pain receptors, so it's just a matter of functionality and maintenance. If you were to take such a knock, well, I would not want to know how that would feel.
How often does it happen? Your pilot's taking light knocks.
I'm gonna ask like the Revenant to like just show something.
Yeah, I think that what starts to happen is you see in the cockpit this insubstantial smoke start to billow out of ports and panels.
Oh crap. Is that supposed to be happening?
Yeah, you hear Brave Firefly sigh, which is weird. It is an effect of the Legion system. You will get used to it, though. With some time, you might get used to it.
I'm not sure my heart's going to take smoke appearing in the cockpit every time I ask a question. Or is this the wound?
Sorry, say that again. The what?
The wound. The battle.
I think there is a pause as Brave Firefly kind of contemplates that, because you know about the Legion system, Revenant, all right?
Of course.
Yeah, I think Brave Firefly kind of like is reticent to just talk about it because she feels like the more you talk about it, the more you invoke it. You invoke them. And I think, yeah, she says, no, this is not a byproduct of the. Wait, did you say wound, right?
Yes,
This
injury.
is, yeah. This is not a byproduct of the wound. This is a byproduct of our union. This is necessary. Though usually it does not manifest as smoke. And go on.
And I think you feel a warmth echo surrounding you, almost like a warm hug.
And I think we see that like split second of familiarity and just like this melancholy smile flicker across Echo's face before she like goes back to the very fake smile from before.
And the smoke
union.
disappears. Smoke disappears.
Oh no. Too soon. Too soon. I gotta say, it feels a little different from what I was expecting.
Sorry, it was me burping. What did you expect?
Oh, like needles in the spine, some horrifying hellscape, some surreal matrix.
Despite what we do, Echo, we try not to be barbarians.
Is the killing machine.
Well, we try not to be barbarians to each other.
It's the killing machine.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think that's seen on this. All right. Okay. So up next is resolution. The machine frames a scene about how it and the Revenant influences the pilot when they are not in battle. So this is downtime. What does the pilot do to relax? What external forces put pressure on the three of them in the meantime? How do they all strain against the system they serve? All right. So I'll just straight up ask, how do you relax?
Writing poetry.
Oh my God.
We're going full sad and nothing can stop me.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so what's kind of I do think like I mean you're also probably gonna still be in the mech. Downtime, this is probably back at the base, maybe while Brave Firefly is being repaired. And trying to commemorate that with poetry, which I think I'll ask the Revenant this. Do you think any other pilot, there's probably other pilots that have written poetry in Brave Firefly's cockpit for, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Totally. I can see this something like the kamikaze pilots in World War II. They were all quite educated and liked to write poetry. So yeah, I imagine that there's something similar here. It's a popular pastime among pilots.
Oh man. So like I think this is just like while Brave Firefly is being refitted, I think you're right. Echo's still in the cockpit writing poetry. This is just back in base, and maybe this is right after you have been yelled at personally now by a commanding officer to have like, You're a rookie in battle. We know what your record is, and clearly you're not up to snuff. We know who your friends were before you joined up. Are you even worthy of this mech? I think that's kind of like that's what you're being yelled at, and then your commanding officer just go get your mech fix, and there might be less slip ups in your future. Callsign Echo. And yeah, I think this is you unwinding in the cockpit writing. And I think Butterfly. I keep wanting to say Brave Butterfly, but they're a Firefly. That's
Still early. We could change the name.
No, I'll stick to the Fire. I'll stick to Firefly. Okay, and I think she just asked curiously, as if she's never asked this question before. What are you writing?
Oh, just some poetry.
Do you write often?
I mean, subject matter changes from year to year, but it's always been a hobby of mine.
Do you write for anyone?
I mean, not for anyone, but some people.
And what do they think about what you write for them?
Some used to hate it. Some used to love it. I'm not sure who thinks about my writing now.
Sorry, you broke up there. What's the sentence you said?
Oh, I'm not sure who's thinking about my writing now.
I am Echo.
Is that the Legion?
I think that's just a oh, is that the in-character question?
Yeah.
You were not the first pilot to write for someone. Many have done so, as you have. Many even have received. Have you ever had anyone write for you?
I have. Though it feels like a long time ago now.
What did they write to you?
What do you think about that? Calling out to the Legion.
I think you see a poem you would remember from the past, scrolling down the HUD on the cockpit.
So you're really here.
Yes, I'm here. We're here together, Echo.
It's good to know.
The two of you are only here for as long as the war continues.
And
Eternity,
I'm sorry. Well, what did you say, Echo?
So eternity then.
and I think you hear laughter, but it's not like the laughter of Sparrow. It's the laughter of like 100 voices.
So pessimistic, Echo. I've seen your records. I know you fought for an end to war. Why the change of heart?
wanted peace. What I'm doing is killing people.
Well, killing people hopefully won't last an eternity. Can't be that many people, can there?
I suppose that's one way to end a war.
And so many of us here.
I'm glad we have an insanity because it's going to take me a long time to get used to that.
I think when you say that, there's like another pause. It's like, I know what Brave Firefly wants to say, but that she doesn't want to say it. And then she kind of picks up again and says, well, next time we're in battle, if you ever feel hesitant again, don't be afraid to say so, and I'll take control for you. If you do not want blood on your hands, leave it up to me.
Or us.
Are you really that eager, Legion? Goes to you, Kyle.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I think Legion says we're here to help you, Echo. We understand you. We are also Echo.
I really would have preferred the singular tense there.
Sorry. God. No, I don't think Brave Firefly's ever joined her that. I think that's kind of...
Is that scene?
Yeah, unless there's anything you want to add.
I'm down with seeing that.
Okay. All right, pursuance. The Revenant frames a scene about how it systematically erodes the pilot's sense of self. A moment of terror. How literal is the consumption? How does the Revenant hasten the process? How does the machine try to mitigate the damage? What does the pilot lose that they cannot get back? I think this is like a scene of Brave Firefly fighting in the sky above the ocean, and she takes a bad hit and crashes into the ocean water. And there's this, moment of terror as like you see the water enclose all around the mech, and we probably hear like the metal creaking under the water pressure. It's probably not a major issue for Brave Firefly because she's set up to do combat in space and all kinds of extreme situations, but it's nonetheless terrifying. And I think that for Echo, the scene around you starts to fade away, and you're surrounded in this kind of sunset light of blues and pinks and peaches. And you hear Sparrow's voice, and Sparrow says, "It's good to see you. It's good to be close to you. I just want to take you away from all of this. You never wanted to fight."
I have to be here with you.
Yes, but we could be even closer.
It's not the same.
I understand that, but wouldn't you rather be at peace together than at war apart?
I would. You, of all people, know that I would. If only it were possible.
It is possible, Echo. Just stay here with me. And I think there's like the light sort of manifests in a hand, and the hand goes to take yours.
I think we see Echo pull back the hand. There's you're Echo. You're not Sparrow.
I am Sparrow. I remember so much of what we shared together. I remember you.
And that's all you are. Memories.
I could be something more with you.
The scenery around you starts to shudder and shake.
And I think Legion says, "Don't listen to her. She wants to keep us apart. She's just using you. I love you."
Lights start to flicker as kind of like the scenery starting to wash out, and suddenly you see like you're breaking through your visions, like the cockpit kind of breaking through the water. I think the light is still kind of there. It's like one last thing you want to say before.
I think Echo will respond. I'm not ready to become memories just yet. And we'll like try and reach through the surface of the water towards the cockpit.
Yeah. And I think, that's when the scenery kind of bleeds out and you see that, you're in the cockpit emerging from the ocean, and you can hear Brave Firefly say, "That's right, Echo. You're not ready yet to become a memory. You're still flesh and blood. You're still breathing.
What does Echo lose?
That is a good question. I kind of want to say hope. Like, seeing this has just driven home that there is only one outcome. And
Totally.
I've got whatever time I've got left to make peace with that.
God. Well, actually, we'll save those thoughts for the last scene, which is all the pilots.
Oh. Oh, goodness, I get to monologue.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, where is this happening? You know what? It's gotta be a park because it's more of a sad mix stuff happens. So I think there's like near the main base back home or whatever space colony we're on. There's like this botanical garden that is a frequent place for protests where Echo and Sparrow used to go. And I think we see Echo sitting under a tree looking up at the like sunset. Wait, no. It's just like early sunrise. This is an early morning thing. And just start speaking to herself. Like, so rare to be away from that machine. I never thought it would be this hard to fight. I'm pretty sure I nearly died at least twice. But even if it doesn't seem worth it, and even if memories are all that's left, this is one path that remains. And I wrote a poem because why not? In the form of a haiku, because that's the only poem style I know. The dawn is coming. Birdsong echoes through the sky, and the dream will end.
Okay. The game recommends that after each cycle, we'll take a short break. I'll say 4 minutes, just to stretch our legs and whatnot. Then I'll check in afterwards, and then we'll switch roles. All right. Scene 4. need to figure out a way of playing without having like the screen reflect off my glasses. Makes me look like an anime villain.
We're all the anime villains here. These poor protagonists.
Yeah, just for protagonists. No, oh, I can totally like. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I got the glasses. Can do the. Yeah, I can totally do it.
Nice.
Oh man,
I tell
I'm
Echo to
running.
get in the damn robot.
Oh man, I just realized I'm running Darren's Evangelion PBTA game next week. I can totally. Yeah, I
Oh,
can do
nice.
this.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right. So how's everyone doing? Everyone feel good?
Okay. I think I'm getting sick, so I
Mhm.
probably can only play like one more round, and then I should probably go take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. As you said, like if you're sick, that's fine. Yeah, let's do one more round because I do want to see like it does look like the downfall was quicker than expected. I think once we suggested that a former lover is gonna be there, it's like, oh wait, no, this is inevitable, is it?
Always was.
Yeah, I mean it was, but this is yeah, okay. No, I'm done. I'm done with that. Let's so it says here switch to the switch characters to the player with your to your right. So I think what it means is that you're gonna hop over. So
The
that
machine.
yes, and I'll be the pilot, and I'll actually get to be the Revenant this time.
Oh, yeah. Have to crank up all of the sadness.
Oh, we wouldn't want that, would we? All right.
I should have written more poems in the break. What have I done?
Yeah. Ooh, because now you're playing the Revenant, and clearly Sparrow must have written some poems.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Ooh. Yeah, because I don't know how to write poems, so sorry.
I'm winging it, don't worry.
Okay. All right. Go back to acknowledgements. So the pilot frames a scene about the ugly aftermath of a battle. A mistake was made, or an order was ignored, and they, the machine, or the Revenant, are paying the price. Tense moment. Who's blamed? Who's forgiven? Who's suffering the most? Ooh, I think let's go to space. I think this is not even a battle. I think this was an ambush, and the thing is, I get the feeling that Echoes he's not he's not used to space travel. Maybe they've taken like a shuttle or two, but not like never been really out there in the vacuum of space. So I think what happened is collectively the three of us were in a transport ship, and there's some sort of skirmish. They were shooting up, but the enemy got to the transport ship first, and now all three of us have been blown out to space, kind of circling away into the void. And I think Echo is kind of panicking a bit. That seems like something. Yeah, I think whatever fake smiles they had is just harder here. So I think what's happening is that this time, while they're panicking, Echo is like instead of the Legion system coming to them, Echo is kind of dragging the Legion system, as in like in their mind, to like no, take me away from here for now. So I think what's kind of happening is Echo is kind of frankly pushing buttons on the mech, and they're like, aren't you, you're built for space travel, like why aren't you moving? What's we're drifting away.
I need to calibrate. I don't want to travel in the wrong direction. It's
Well, are you calibrating now?
yes, of course. Just Hold on a moment. I'm shielding you from all of the radiation, void, vacuum. You'll be fine.
I think you feel a hand brush across your face. As Legion says, she's right. Don't worry. We're here.
Where are you taking me? And it's ambiguous whether who Echo is addressing.
Wherever you want to go.
I can't imagine like maybe Brave Firefly and Legions talked at the same time. What did Brave Firefly say?
I think Brave Firefly says, to safety. There are more transports nearby. We have a mission. We're going to follow it. First, we need to get safe.
All right, fine. Just take me. Just take me. I want to be safe.
I just need a moment longer, Echo. Please be patient.
Or you can come with me now. I think you see that same hand from before. Like solidified out of light in front of you.
I think I like Echo unconsciously like reaches for the hand. Is it solid enough to hold, or?
I think so.
I think as you touch, you feel the boosters kick in, and you get jolted. Brave Firefly says, "Don't give up on me yet, Echo."
I think Echo's hand is on the silver light, and then you just kind of laugh a bit and say to Brave Firefly, like, "Oh no, I haven't." And they kind of let go. "No, I haven't. I trust you, Firefly. You know what you're doing. You
Right.
said, oh, go on."
Of course. We're going to survive together.
You said if I hesitated, you'd take over for me. Is that unconditional?
That depends on your authorization, Echo.
So logical of you.
I have certain protocols I must follow.
What are your protocols about Legion? I think that's kind of like you're flying off. Then Echo's a bit more calm now.
We must coexist. Cannot exist without each other.
I think Echo doesn't have anything to say to that. They're just contemplating. Oh, go on.
I think Firefly says, Legion has always been here, as have I.
You have always been here, and Legion's always been here. But I'm not.
No.
And there'll come a time when I won't be here. Yes?
That is true, but that is what makes you your own person.
I don't even have to ask where I will go, do I?
No.
Oh my god. You both said it at the same time. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm breaking character. That was Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think Echo hears both of you say no. And it's just I think I think they're just gonna like not say anything as as Firefly flies all three of us off to safety. Holy crap.
Nice.
God. All right, so it's the machine's turn.
Yes. So, resolution. The machine frames a scene about how it and the Revenant influence the pilot when they are not in battle. Downtime, what does the pilot do to relax? What external forces put pressure on the three of them in the meantime? How do they all strain against the system they serve? I think this is I think that the three characters have all been placed into something called like an isolation matrix, which is a program designed by the military to try to increase the longevity of pilots by maintaining their sense of self and the distinction between the machine, the pilot, and the Revenant. And so, I don't know, maybe we can just like go around and answer a question about what makes us unique.
Is this kind of like a case like we're all kind of standing in like some sort of virtual space in this isolation matrix?
Yeah, I think so. Totally.
Ooh. What do we see of each other first, though? Like, what's our what do we see where? Yeah,
I think that the way Brave Firefly represents herself in this space is as a large clockwork firefly with a human woman's face.
I think Echo would represent herself as close to as normal as they were. They feel like a young person. Would you folks agree? If well, not completely young, not like the young one we had, in the Memento Mori game, but like someone who would like break away from campaigning against war to follow Lost Beloved. And they totally have anime hair, of course they do. It's probably purple, actually. Like it's a nice purple sheen. And yeah, I think they look like an ordinary citizen. They have fingerless gloves, because they're those are cool. I think yeah. I think the sunset on that fateful day, yes. And yeah, I think they look like someone who's not out to fight a war, but an ordinary citizen who went out to like. They look like they were when they were protesting. And say, okay, yeah, true, but like, well, maybe that. Well, look. Well, they just had that to look cool. Maybe Sparrow bought them that. Maybe, who knows?
Fingerless gloves are the best piece of clothing ever invented, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Speaking of Sparrow, though,
I think the Legion, it's like one of those like holographic pictures where it looks like one person, like a middle-aged man with like graying hair and like scars all over his face. And like you turn your head slightly and all of a sudden it's a different person in a different landscape. Like every time you blink, everything just changes figure. But then eventually, after a couple of iterations, settles down on Sparrow, standing in the park, sitting under the tree.
Oh, the urge to make another Twilight Mirage reference is strong. Okay, so that question again, Firefly. What was the question you want everyone to
The
answer?
question everybody should answer is, what makes you unique? And I think that the question is posed both in sort of like holographic text in the sky, but also by a kind of impersonal voice. And Brave Firefly answers the question by saying, I was made with a clear purpose. And my experiences have let me understand that purpose in my own way. That is what makes me unique.
I think Echo kind of hears that, and they don't know what to say, so they look at the Revenant and all their shifting multi-holographic glory, trying to piece out Sparrow.
I think we see, as soon as Sparrow sees this in the sky, it changes shape yet again. Let's go to an old lady who begins with, we were created at the pinnacle of human technology. And then it shifts to another person. We are humanity. And shifts yet again. We are hope. And goes back to Sparrow as they look at Echo. And they say, and we are Legion.
I think of that, Echo just looks at the question and just kind of sighs and says, I don't know what kind of answer to give. I'm sure there's been plenty of people who've been born the way I was. Sure, there's plenty of people who felt like I did, who's fallen in love, who's had their heart broken, who I don't know, who's hated sweet and sour sauce. I'm sure there's plenty of people like that who've given up their ideals for something stupid, for something that doesn't make sense.
And I think the virtual space collapses, and we just get the technician looking concerned as they look over to Echo and write something down.
I think, yeah, Echo just scoffs at that because their outburst wasn't even that unique. Yeah, that's what they're thinking.
I think the technician goes over to, like, the head medical officer, and you see them sort of consulting and talking, and they're frowning and looking concerned.
Oh, Echo wants to shout at them.
I'm not sure if you can hear the Revenant right now, but I think they're saying, don't worry, we've all been there before.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. Should end there. Oh, God. So Revenant, it's your turn.
Man, this is such a tough choice. I mean, we said we were building up the penguins, and this could be our last shot. So I think there has been like an emergency go off. Some like enemy scouts are closer than we had previously thought, and they need everyone to sortie. And I think as Echo gets into Brave Firefly and hooks up to begin piloting, at that moment, everything goes black. And we slowly fade in on like a muffled voice reading something out loud until we see Brave Firefly, Echo, and Sparrow standing in the park by the tree with that same like beautiful sky that was in the original metaphorical meeting.
Echo's kind of staring at the sky and has a really dumb question for Brave Firefly. You ever just lie down on your back and look at the sky?
I lack your sense of embodiment as well as eyes of your kind. Although I have been transported on my back and looked up at the sky numerous times.
Did you ever want to, though? If you could.
No, I do not share that intuition.
That's a shame. The sky's lovely.
It is. But I have my own pleasures, my own sense of freedom. You might enjoy looking up at the sky, but you've never felt the real feeling of soaring through it on your own power. That is one of the joys of being myself.
Or you can enjoy both.
To soar the sky, you mean? Knowing that when you get down to Earth, you won't be spilling blood?
Spilling blood is a means to an end for all of us.
But you don't have to share that burden alone.
What? When Echo looks at the Revenant, what does they see?
I think it is, this time, Sparrow and always Sparrow. Recreated as exactly as the Revenant can.
When you soar out to the sky there, Firefly, you're never alone, aren't you?
That's true.
Even if... Oh, God.
I'm together with my pilot, with you.
With me. And the next Echo. The next one. And the next one. And the
The
next one.
previous one.
And the previous one.
Yes.
How do you... Oh, God.
Although the difference between the future, the past, and the present is distinct and important.
How do you stand it?
I have grown accustomed to it. Surely, when you grew into an adult, it must have been a disturbing experience. Your body changing. My body does not change, not in the way that yours does. But I have grown in a way.
Do you remember all those echoes? Every single one? And Echo looks at Sparrow.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember you too.
I didn't think I was worth remembering, to be honest.
Of course you are. You are very, very important to me.
Even if even if you are just a part of who I knew, who I broke every ideal I knew to follow. Even if you're just an approximation of that connection. I think Echo kind of like. For some reason, I imagine they're sitting at a bench. I don't know why.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. And I think Echo's hand kind of like inches across the bench. They don't trust themselves to find the words.
I think Sparrow's hand will reach out and take yours.
Goodbye, Echo.
I'm sorry, Firefly. I hope I was good.
You were. You'll be remembered.
The best.
Yeah. I think they smile just looking to you, and that's kind of like when the scene fades, and I think we get Echo's last few thoughts before we wrap this up. This psalm. Unfortunately, I don't have any poetry on me. I just
I wrote a backup one if you want it.
All right. Okay. Maybe we'll end with that. Maybe we'll end. That's kind of like the last thing we say in fiction. Yeah, exactly. Collab epilogue. I think yeah, as kind of like the scene. Well, I think what this looks like is, Echo and Sparrow stand up, holding hands as they walk deeper into the park. And let me read out the psalm, actually, just so I know exactly what I'm saying. The pilot reflects upon and narrates their thoughts about the events of the previous three scenes. A rare moment of complete solitude for the pilot, decompress and process. Um. All right. Oh, actually, we do have like a brief scene at the end, so I will just narrate here what their thoughts are. Um. No, I knew this was going to happen from the very start. The moment I signed up, the moment, well, even before that, when I knew where she had gone. The moment I signed up, from training, from psyche evac to evaluation to sitting on that mech, saying hello to this machine called Brave Firefly. I knew where I was going. I wasn't made for war. I wasn't made to, well, I wasn't made to be anything but myself. And myself is someone who doesn't know who they are unless they're with someone who does. Some people didn't know who I was better than I did. And I needed them. So I went. And I don't regret that. That's where I needed to go. Okay, so I think we'll leave the poem because actually there's one last bit to close up the end here. Once we're through the last cycle, the machine goes on as it always has, but the pilot is spent. Their story's finished. The Revenant has won. Each of us will narrate a brief scene of the pilot's death and transfiguration. A few sentences will do. When we've all gone, the game is over, and then we decompress and process. Let's go by the order of the character keeper. Let's start with Kyle.
Sure. I think we get like a steady cam shot of like looking into the cockpit. We can see Echo slumped over. And the background is whirling and there are lights and the sounds of battle echo in the distance in a kind of muted way. And Brave Firefly says, I always wish at times like this, when I can ride out the end and it's just me and you, Legion, that it could go on forever. But it can't. And there's always someone new to mourn.
I think Echo's body is returned to their loved ones. And yeah, there's just the usual when someone soldier like that dies. There's arguments over who lets them pledge themselves to this cause. Some of their friends argue over like, so how could they throw away what they believed in and kind of ruins their legacy. And other people know exactly why they did what they did. But either way, the funeral, a lot of those recently. And despite this, they're mourned. Because they were lucky enough to have had people who loves them.
I think for the Revenant, you see Echo and Sparrow sitting under the tree, and like across from them, outside of the park, across this like still water, you see like another island of a couple of other people sitting around a campfire arguing about something, and another one off in the distance. We see all of these other pilots, and we see them, two of them sitting there holding hands as together in unison They read out this poem. A breeze in sunset breaks the stillness of this place. Erodes our way back. It slowly fades out, and we see a new pilot brought into the area.
All right. So that's been Virtuous Service. Yeah. All right. Sorry. When I said that's been Virtuous Service, I had the urge to add a no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. What's up, Progress here? Progress here. Thanks so much. As always. Next time, let's play something nice, which will inevitably twist into something. God. Yeah. All right. For anyone watching this game has been Virtuous Service, written by Samantha Day. Links down below at Passerines on Twitter and on Itch. This game was arranged through the Gauntlet. Links down below. Check out the Gauntlet calendar. There's lots of cool games there. You can hop on, play with ourselves. If you want some people experience in stabbing each other in the heart, yeah, come at us. Come play with us. Yeah. All right. I'll stop the podcast and yeah. See you all later, YouTube.